And so we will end the morning giving the floor to Adriano Bonforti, which is, I see him here, Eccolo Adriano. And let me briefly present Adriano. And Adriano is one of the founder of Patamu.com, which is we are Enrico Bizenzi spoke about protect your artwork, and Patamu does exactly this because it generates proof of authorship for any creative work, allowing to protect one's creativity and publish and share works safely. And so the author keeps all the rights on the deposit work and has no further obligation towards this platform. And the evidence of this authorship generated by Patamu is valid in all the 172 countries that signed the Berne Convention for the Protection of Literary and Artistic Work. So again, we will talk about Creative Commons, but let me leave the hand on the floor to Adriano Bonforti. Please, Adriano.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'm trying to share the presentation, so please let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
Just here. Okay.
Let's try. Okay, great. So it's gonna be a very minimal and I hope fast presentation because I think that we have 15 minutes, right, more or less, something like this.
More or less. Thank you. 15 to 20. I mean.
Okay. I'll try to be as fast as possible. Thank you so much for inviting us. We are so happy to be here. There is also Gianluca Cannavale in the room. Gianluca is basically the legal expert of our team, the head of the Patamu legal service. And by the way, just to tell you, we give free webinars on these kind of topics, so you are all welcome to join us. Also, I wanted to say before the presentation that there is a free coupon, EU for Art Academy, for a free yearly Academy account. So this coupon allows you to basically use Patamu service for free for 1 year. And it's dedicated mainly, even if today everybody can use it, but basically it's part of an initiative that we have to give at least 1 year of free service to all the students of arts, music academies, music academies, arts academies, and also high schools and so on. Actually, for high school students, it's for free for the entire duration of the high school. So if you have any question on that, you can write us at support@patamu.com or adriano@patamu.com and gianluca@patamu.com. Okay, so we start with the presentation. So what is Patamu? Patamu generates a proof of authorship for any kind of creative work. And this allows you to protect your creativity and to publish or share your work more safely. So our idea is that by protecting your authorship, you are not actually closing the idea or the artwork, but actually you are encouraged to share it easily, maybe to get to the help of other people to modify it, tracking all the path that this work takes over its evolution. So the protection that we give is instantaneous and is carried out basically by means of a legally recognized timestamp, which means basically that we use these legal timestamps provided by certification authorities to prove that you created that work at a certain moment in time. Of course, we also use blockchain technology, so we use both technologies, and you have two proofs to use. One is centralized, the other centralized means guaranteed by an institution, may be the Italian state or the European Union, and the other one is decentralized, which is a feature of blockchain technology. So a feature, a very important feature, which is very important to us, is that we actually allow the author to keep all the rights on the deposited work. You can decide which license you will use. You can actually download the proof of authorship from the beginning, so you are not obliged to stay on the platform in the following years. And of course, you have all the rights to use the works as you prefer. So we are really somehow just an evolution of the old letter that you send to yourself, and then you can basically do anything you want with this proof. As we were saying before, the evidence is valid in all the 175, because this number slightly changes every year, that signed the Berne Convention for the Protection of Literary and Artistic Works. So it means that if you create a proof of authorship with our platform, you can then this proof is it's considered valid in all these states, because there are agreements between the states to recognize respectively the proofs that are generated. And by the way, the institution that allows us to have a legal recognition is the European Union. This is the norm, if you want to look for it, is the EIDAS regulation on digital trust services. So just to recap this first part of the presentation, Patamu allows you to have an immediate, online and cheap generation of the proof of ownership. The proof is legally valid basically worldwide. You can keep control over your works. You can share very easily the certificate of ownership, just to show that you have actually performed the act of generating a proof of authorship. We have this double protection, so legal, timestamp, and blockchain. And of course, also to connect with the previous presentation, you have the freedom to choose the license of distribution that you want, for instance, traditional copyright or Creative Commons. We push a lot for the use of Creative Commons because we think that this is a very powerful way for artists to be to gain visibility, to share their works, and basically I almost see no other side of the coin. I also compose music from time to time when I have the time, and I use Creative Commons licenses. And from it happens also that some people from Japan write to me and says, I used your music for a short documentary because it's a non-profit documentary, and I'm really happy about it, because I mean, your name can go worldwide even if you don't professionally use your time for social media and so on and so forth. And by the way, we have many interesting cases. Now there is this tendency to plagiarize entire bodies of work. We have an artist who was to completely plagiarize, a visual artist, and somebody else opened an account on Instagram, put all her works, and she could write to Instagram and prove actually that she had done these works before, giving to Instagram our proof. This happened also with Amazon, and they took down the fake account. So it's actually very powerful, because there are other means, but this is very fast. It cannot be denied that it's a legal proof proving specifically the time of creation. So, or better, the time in which you declare that you created the work. So if there is no previous previous declaration in time, you are entitled to be recognized as the author. Okay, so second part, very rapidly. This maybe, it's better if you have then more specific questions, you can ask to Gianluca. I just wanted to give a very simple explanation, so forgive me if it's not legally perfect. By the way, in general, we can say that regulatory systems worldwide, even if they differ a lot from country to country, they basically divide the protection of creative works in at least two ways. As we heard in the previous presentation, there is also a very importantly moral authorship. But let's say that for now we just divide into protection of authorship rights for creative and artistic works, which we can call traditional copyright. So this is dedicated to yes, creative and artistic works, and then industrial property, which is devoted to works that represent a product or a service. Then there are twilight zones, as you can have in design, for instance, which can be also become art and vice versa. No, but just to give you a very simple dichotomic division, then maybe Gianluca will beat me for this simple simplification. By the way, authorship protection is related to all creative works in the field at least of literature, music, visual arts, architecture, theater, dance, cinema, irrespective to its form of expression, but also interestingly, also code somehow can be considered a literary work. So basically you can create a similar program, but you cannot create it with the same text, because the text that was used to code a program is can be considered a literary work, and also science can be put somehow in this list. So it's not necessarily and strictly only art. I'm trying to go to the next slide. So there is no clear pre-established path to be recognized as an author. It's not that you have to go to that specific institution. At least, for instance, this is not the case in Europe. So it's better to create as soon as possible a legally recognized proof. In theory, also, I mean, if you can really prove that you had an idea, and you can prove that you had the draft of this drawing and then the evolution of the drawing, even if you didn't protect it legally, then when you go into a court, this might be recognized as a proper, valid proof. It really depends on whether you are able to prove or not that you were the author. This is just a simplified way to prove it also in a legally recognizable way. But there are other ways. Of course, technology helps in that sense, no? Because it allows everybody to access basically a digital notary at almost no cost. Yeah, the proof of authorship that we generate is basically a legally acknowledgeable or better, this is the general concept of proof of authorship. It's a legally acknowledgeable self-declaration which is held valid until proof of the contrary. As I was saying before, it could be that you self-declare it on a piece of paper, it could be that you sent it to yourself, it could be that you can prove the entire evolution of the work and a judge then finds that yes, this is a knowledgeable proof. As I was saying before, technology helps because you don't have to go in a court, you don't have to call Instagram into the court, the person that faked your account and so on. You just can prove very rapidly by technological means, if you use a proof like the one generated by Patamu, that you are the author, and often this is already accepted without the need to go in court or take legal actions. Then the next slide. Yeah, once the work is protected, the author can choose how to distribute his or her work and what licenses to apply to it. It could be traditional copyright, it could be Creative Commons licenses or other licenses. And there is just a little focus on Creative Commons I mean, you heard about the Creative Commons licenses also in the previous presentation. Basically, it's an interplay between these four permissions that you give, or better, requests. You, for instance, in the Creative Commons by or attribution license, you say, you can use the work. The only important thing is that you attribute the work to me. You say that I'm the author. If you do so, then you're free to use it without asking anything else from me. And then there is another one in which you have to name the author, and you are requested not to do a commercial use of the work. So if you don't use the work commercially, and if you attribute it to the proper author, then you can share the work. And then you have all these interplays. Share alikes means that you can actually modify the work. You can actually modify the work, but then you are forced, requested, better, to state the name of the original author and share it under the same type of license. So you cannot then put the traditional copyright on a work which is licensed with this license. Then no derivative works is an alternative in which you say you can share it, but you cannot modify it. And of course, you have to attribute it to me. And then also you have mixed. So non-commercial, share-alike attribution means you can modify it. You cannot use it commercially. You cannot use commercially also your derivative works. And you have to use the same license for any other works that stems from my work. And then you have attribution, non-commercial, and no derivative. So this is the most strict Creative Commons license. You have to name the original author. You cannot use the work commercially, and you cannot modify it. But if you respect these three requests, then you can share it. Well, that's it. Thank you very much. I just recap the fact that we have this coupon for you. Today is for all the attendants. In general, if you are an art institution, a music institution, an academy, you can contact us. We can provide a similar coupon, or you can try and test if this coupon is still working, because as we said, we offer a free yearly account to all the students of the academies. And this is within the framework of the Patamu Academy Initiative, 1 year free account to all students of art academies and schools. Write us at support@patamu.com for further info. Also, if you don't fall exactly into these specifications, let's say, write to us and let's understand what are your needs. And also, I wanted to say that Gianluca organizes free webinars. They happen at a weekly, how do you say, they happen weekly. Every 2 months we restart the entire cycle. So if you're interested, you can write us, Adriano@patamu.com, Gianluca@patamu.com, or more easily, because this is our help desk, support@patamu.com, and we always answer. Thank you very much again for the invitation. Of course, question time. So if you have any question, me and Gianluca are here to answer.
Here, a loud applause here, very loud.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Adriano, and
thank you,
also for your offer of this of the service, which I think it's quite significant for our art students. And I thank all of the speakers and all of the sorry guys, sorry. I thank all the speakers and all the attendees for this first days of talks and lectures about artistic entrepreneurship and ownership and licenses and copyright. So some of the key issues of the art world in these days, in which technology changes the paradigms, but also we are always reshaping and going back to the same central issues about creating artwork and distributing and sharing artworks. And so thank you very much. And for the one interested, there will be the series of lectures and talks continues until September 9th. And you will find all the details on the Abaroma website or on the U4Art Differences website. So thank you very much and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.